Two simple questions for the flock folks. Thank you for coming out today. One, you've mentioned a couple of times that the city of Bartlesville does own its own data, but there's a huge difference in data ownership and data custodianship. Do I take that to understand that Flock itself actually maintains custodianship of the data that those cameras capture?
So we use, we use AWS Government Cloud to store your data. It's end-to-end encrypted. So the way it works is there's images taken, goes through machine learning, it's stored there, only your department can access it. From as we've been mentioning, your police department owns it, that's contractual. We do not monetize any data. We also, something that's important to know, as Kristen mentioned in her presentation, we don't have any DMV records here. I think it was also noted, this is an investigative tool, right? So your police department still has to take that image, use other existing software that they have to potentially tie vehicle owner, et cetera. So really this is one piece of evidence to start the investigation. And just to kind of answer one of the other kind of concerns around privacy and protections, please remember that the data is only stored for 30 days and it's hard deleted. And that's intentional in order to protect privacy, right? To not have that long-term retention of data. So that is an important piece, and along with obviously the policies and procedures of your department.
But 5,000 jurisdictions have access to it for those 30 days?
No.
Only the networks within it that we're sharing with. So that's 111 networks, not 5,000.
But potentially thousands of people have access to the data.
You interrupted someone else's time. If you do that again, you'll be asked to leave.
So, if you'll forgive me one more question, please. My question is around Flock Safety itself. Is it a publicly traded company, semi-private, private, where there can't be any shareholder interest that override the policies that they would normally employ?
We're privately held, and all our contracts are reviewed by your city attorney, your policymakers. So we are beholden to the contract that we have with you. As you may remember from Kristen's presentation, we're a software as a service type model. So at any time, we will, if the city decides to not continue the contract, we will take our hardware out of the city. And so for us, it's really important to follow that, but also that's where your policymakers and police department come together to create a policy that reflects your community.
You said that Flock doesn't sell any of the data that you are collecting. Is there third parties or companies that our police department could sell that data to if they wanted to do like traffic mining, or like, hey, this is a busy intersection, there's probably a lot of Lexuses driving around here, Mercedes, maybe we should market harder here, that kind of information?
No, there isn't. So if you remember, and this is also something that's really important, in order for them to access the system, they have to enter in a search reason every single time. And so a search reason is only created if there's somebody that called the police department, there's a case number associated with that. That's the only time they can then put in those filters that are associated with that case number that can be audited. And then they'll see individual images that match that. There's no like mass bulk of like, let me just see every single image today and then put that on a thumb drive type of situation. It's related to a case every single time.
Sure, and then follow-up question, sorry, this is for Bartlesville. What are the criteria that we select to decide who we share data with? Like, if for some reason there was like a mass Facebook group and all the police stations were like, oh hey, we're gonna set all of our Flock settings to this, so now we're instantly sharing to all 5,000 people. How would that work? Is there something like